Kitty. No. Ready? Ready? Hi everybody, this is Alex, Toothless is Human, and this is Toothless, the big boy band dog. And today we're going to be talking about how service dogs should behave around one another. So this video was actually not a recommendation by anybody or a suggestion. It was actually brought up because I recently did a training session with another service dog and his handler. It kind of reminded me about a few things that are conflicting in the community, and I just kind of wanted to talk about how I think that service dogs should behave around one another when on duty. Please keep in mind, I am not the law. I have no legal representation. This video is absolutely and completely my opinion. So the first point I wanted to make is that the ADA does not specify how service dogs should act one another in particular, but it does say, and I quote, service dogs should always be in control. I think that a dog reactive dog or a dog that's lunging or pulling on a leash to get to another dog is not a dog that's in control. Simple as that. I think it's kind of common sense. If a dog is not in control by the handler and they're over here lunging or barking at another dog, or worse, they actually got it off leash and are charging at this other dog, I'm gonna have to say that that's not in control. I want to remind everybody that our service dogs are only allowed out into public places where normal dogs aren't allowed, where food is prepared, where food is sold, because they are performing tasks that specifically help mitigate our disabilities. If you need a service dog, that also means that you need the tasks that they can perform to help mitigate your disability. If your service dog is out in public and way too distracted to be helping you, they shouldn't be out in public. When your service dog is on duty, their full focus should be on you and mitigating your disability. My second point was that a dog that's lunging, barking, reactive to other dogs, or in any way causing a distraction for a working service dog can cause the working service dog to miss an alert. For people with seizure response dogs, this can be absolutely life-threatening. And even for people with something as simple as POTS, where their dog alerts them to fainting, this can cause serious problems. We all know how fake service dogs that lunge and bark at our dogs can be distracting for our dogs, whether they're in their training phase or fully trained. So sometimes it may be a valid service dog who actually has training on how to mitigate their handler's disability, but if they're being completely dog reactive and if they're not listening to their handler if another dog is in their presence, then they're no better than an ordinary dog if they are so distracted by a normal dog. If a service dog is very easily distracted by another dog, or by anything else for that matter, they may miss life-changing alerts that therefore cause them to be null and void service dogs. A service dog's number one priority should always be their handler. And if they can make another dog a priority over their handler, they're not doing a very good job at their job, are they? Set your own service dog up for success and make sure that you will always be their number one priority. Whether they are around other people, shopping carts, or even other dogs, you should always be your dog's number one priority when they are on duty as a working service dog. My third point that I wanted to make was kind of the one that I just made, that a service dog's priority should always be their handler. If they're going to be distracted by another dog, that could put their handler's life at risk. I understand that the ADA only says that a dog needs to be in control, but I would like to think that a dog should also be a good citizen. I don't advocate the Canine Good Citizen test as a marker that your dog is even ready to be a service dog, because that test does not determine what tasks a dog can do. However, having said that, I also do think that the AKC Canine Good Citizen test is a very good test to be able to determine if your dog is ready to go out into public access as a full trained service dog. I've seen a lot of fully trained service dogs, and I can say that they would all easily pass the AKC Canine Good Citizen test with flying colors. I think the only part that would be hard for them to do that is the part where they need to be apart from their handler, given that a service dog never really needs to be very far apart from their handler. However, I would say that if your service dog has passed the AKC Canine Good Citizen test, that's a very, very good sign that you are on the right track. However, again, I will say, if there's a full-fledged service dog that has not taken the AKC Good Canine Citizen test, for whatever reason the handler has, it is not a fake, it is not any less of a real service dog. Here are 3 things that I think a service dog should be able to do in the presence of another calm dog or another working service dog. I completely understand how a barking, lunging, crazy dog that's dog reactive can be distracting to a service dog. I would expect for Toothless, once he's fully trained as a service dog, to be able to ignore a barking or lunging dog. However, I don't expect it out of everybody. As long as their dog is in control around a barking other dog or even a dog reactive other dog, I would count that as fine. I just kind of have high standards for this doof because, you know, if you can do it, make it. You hear that? I have high standards for you. So here goes. So the first thing I was gonna say is that a service dog should not be reactive towards any other dog. If a dog is reactive towards another dog, that means that their handler, again, is not a priority for the dog. Point number one, a service dog should not be reactive or distracted by another calm dog in any situation. I think a great way to train for this is to take your service dog or service dog in training to a pet store where dogs are allowed to go in. If you notice that there is another dog that is very calm, walking well on a leash, feel free to train near or around that dog to make sure that your dog can still take commands in the presence of another dog. However, if there is another barking, reactive, or in any way distracting dog, feel free to take your service dog in training or service dog, or even just pet dog if you're really trying to train your dog, away from that dog to make sure that there are no conflicts and no problems. My second point is that a well-trained service dog, or even most service dogs in training, should be able to still task while there is another dog around. Again, I specify that another dog around means another calm dog or another dog that's minding their own business. I don't expect most service dogs in training to be calm around another dog who's barking, lunging, growling, crying, or being disruptive in any way. Let's just clarify this. When I say dog, I mean another dog that's minding their own business, and we're not talking about the extreme chihuahua who's trying to jump out of the cart to eat your service dog's face. So, a service dog or service dog in training should be able to, at some point, carry out a full task around another dog. This is because if you're at a pet store and your service dog is working and there are dogs nearby, your dog should still be able to fulfill their duties as a service dog. This also helps train for in the future if you're ever in a place where dogs aren't allowed and there's another service dog nearby, your dog should still be able to fulfill their tasks and do their job. Finally, I wanted to say that service dogs should be able to work alongside one another. Service dogs should be able to work alongside one another because they should be focused completely and absolutely on their handler. From walking directions that their handler is giving them to potential alerts, your service dog should completely be focused on you at all times. Later in this video, I'm going to feature some clips from my training session along Leviathan and his handler, Kate. Toothless did absolutely fantastic, and they were working approximately only a few inches from one another, and they both did phenomenally. Your service dog's priority should not be to sniff another dog, be around another dog, be clingy to another dog. A service dog's priority should always and completely be their handler's well-being and health. Now, when off duty, of course, every service dog wants to play with another dog. So I'm not talking about off duty. I'm talking solely about when a service dog is on duty, vested, in working mode, they should be completely focused on their handler at all times. So that was just a little rant about me talking about how I think that service dogs should act around one another. I'm making such a deep point about this because I really think that service dogs shouldn't be reactive around one another, because I completely believe that if you're taking your dog into somewhere where food is prepared or where food is sold, which means that it's a little unsanitary to some people who are very, very germophobic, I think that your dog should have a valid reason for being there and enough training to validate their reason for being in somewhere where dogs are not allowed. That's just my opinion. Again, I know the ADA doesn't specify this, but this is just the opinion of one lonely service dog handler. If you have anything that you would like to add to my rant, maybe something I forgot, a reason that you think that service dogs should behave a certain way around one another, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I always love hearing back from you guys, and I love getting feedback. Make sure also that if I said something that you don't agree with, leave it in the comments as well. We welcome any kind of feedback, whether it's positive or negative. If you like this video, or if you want me to know that you would like me to make more videos, feel free to hit that like button. Even better, if you really, really like this video and you want to know when I make more videos, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the Big Boy Band Dog family on YouTube. If you want to join the family on Instagram, feel free to do that, same username. Also, if you've been having an argument with somebody about how service dogs should behave, or if you just want the world to know how service dogs should behave around one another, feel free to share this video. I don't mind shares. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I am Alex. This is Toothless, the very asleep Big Boy Band Dog. Make sure to catch us next time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in again. I'm Alex. This is Doofus, and we hope the spoons are ever in your favor. Sexual, baby. Yeah.
hace más de 15 minutos. Se me tiene mal, bien loco lo sabes. Dime por favor, baby, que me tienes caer. No me tiemblan, me pongo ansioso. Aunque te he pegado y sea famoso. Un beso que me da, un beso que me gozo. Te quiero probar, te juro, me tienes nervioso. Why not, tú eres mi girl. No hay ninguna. Why not, tú eres mi girl. Sensual, bebé, besas también.
Sensual baby, sensual baby. Go follow me, go follow me.
Bebé, besas también.
Sensual baby, sensual baby. Go on, Faruka. Bigger name was beside you. Living large. You hear? You better warn them about me in here, you know. Family matters.
Imperio Nasia,
Alright.
Farruko,
And cut.
Dicho, musicólogo, Menes, Benny Benny.
Sensual baby.